Henry Valley Zoo, the Heartland Farm Sanctuary, the Dane County Adoption Center, and the vet all help animals in a different way. The zoo preserves wildlife and teaches people about the different animals in the world. Heartland Farm rescues farm animals that are lost, injured, or neglected. The Adoption Center gets domestic animals a loving new home, and the vet helps injured or sick animals.
So what's your favorite or most profound animal rescue story?
Well, there have certainly been a lot of special patients that I've worked with since I've been a tech. One that I can recall pretty quickly is we had a dog that had gotten away from his owner and got his leash wrapped around his legs and had a cut, and he got that cut infected so badly that flies had come to it and gotten into there too. There was talk about possibly losing the legs, but we were able to take care of him so much that didn't have to happen. So he made a full, complete recovery and did great. So one of my favorite patients that I've worked with. So an Airedale named Dakari. So very special. There are tons of patients that kind of stick out like that, but it's very rewarding when you can see an animal who's sick and doesn't feel very well come back and feel like they're normal selves. So,
thank you.
Yeah.
Cut.
All these places make sure their animals are well cared for. The zoo by regulating their feeding and making sure they have enough enrichment items in the exhibits. Heartland Farm makes sure the animals get their food the way they prefer, along with plenty of toys. The Adoption Center makes sure their animals always have food and water, and the vet always gives the animals the healthiest choices in toys and food.
The zoo is free to visit, so getting enough money to care for the animals is always difficult. They get their money from donations, concessions, along with a variety of donors. Heartland Farm has a summer camp that they get money from, as well as their own assortment of donors. The Adoption Center gets their money from the adoptions, and the vet from the cost to the owners for vet treatment.
An assortment of people take care of these animals. The zoo has many zookeepers who make sure the animals' needs are being met. The Adoption Center has plenty of staff, and the vet is always quick to make sure their patients are content.
So, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Sunshine Stokes, and I am the camp director at Heartland.
How difficult would you say it is to take care of all the animals?
It takes a lot of work, and we have somewhere between 70 and 100 volunteers. We have 2 shifts a day, so we have about 5 people come out in the morning and 5 different people come out in the evening, and they work for 3 hours per shift. And so yeah, it's very time consuming. It's a lot of work, but it's very rewarding. Our animals are really very sweet and gentle. Individual animals like certain people and don't like other people, so there are some animals I avoid, but other people get along with them fine. So it kind of depends on your relationship with the animal.
How many animals do you say you get over certain periods of time?
Well, it really varies. I'm sorry?
Like over a year, for example.
Oh, okay. Well, it really, really varies. Right now we're at capacity, and so unless we were to lose an animal or otherwise relocate an animal, we most likely would not be taking in any new animals. But it kind of depends too on what kind of animal it is, if we have space or not. So it really varies. There was a time, obviously, where we were taking in a lot more animals, but over time we've started to kind of fill up.
Each of these places are there for different reasons, but they all care about the animal's well-being.
So this is Barnum. He is our clinic kitty. He's been with us for quite some time. He's also been diabetic, so that means that he needs some injections throughout the day. But he is a Maine Coon cat, and he's just been kind of hanging out with us. So.
How old is he?
I think he's right around 13 or 14 years.
Oh, he's beautiful. And So he lives here?
He lives here, yep. He has his own room, so.
Does he get to do commercials and things like that for?
Sometimes he likes to wear hats and things, so we dress him up sometimes and take photos for Facebook for him.
And what kind of cat is he?
He's a Maine Coon cat. So he weighs in at about, I think right now he's about 17 pounds, so he's a bigger guy.
Wow. And does he have friends that he like are his favorites or something like that?
He likes whoever's feeding him the most.
He looks like he likes food.
He'll run up whenever his dinner time is, his canned food is getting ready, and trot to go get it. But he's a pretty chill guy and kind of makes sure everybody feels welcome here. So.
That's really sweet. Does he go outside ever? Do you walk him on a leash ever?
We haven't tried that. He has a window in his room that we open, and he likes to sniff the breeze that comes through, but we haven't ever taken him outside, so.
Wonderful. How did you come up with the name Barnabas? Does it have a story?
I'm not quite sure of the story, but I think
Was there ever a
probably the
baby?
circus.
The circus.
So that's what I've assumed.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.